Freedom and discipline seem like total opposites, right? Surprise, they're actually very good friends. In this episode, I'm sharing 7 ways to make discipline feel like support instead of struggle. Hello, my friend. I'm so happy you're here today. I'm hoping you're going to love this episode. It was really fun for me to put these thoughts together, so let's dive right in. A few years ago, my word of the year was discipline. I don't often share my woe-tea with others because I like to just personally work on it. But there were a few times that I did share it, like with a couple of friends, with my business coach, and the reaction was the same from all of them. They'd scrunch up their nose and say, "Discipline? Is that your word? Why?" And I get it. Discipline sounds so serious, so buttoned up, so not fun. But for me, it wasn't about being strict. It was about being aligned and being someone I could count on. I chose that word because of what it leads to: freedom, peace, confidence, a sense of readiness and preparedness to step into what's next. So if you were thinking of scrunching your nose too, like my friends, about, ooh, why discipline? Then let's just flip the script on that today. And we're going to dive into how it can actually be your ticket to joy. What if discipline isn't about restriction at all, but about opening doors for the life you really want? What if it's just about showing up for what matters, consistently, gently, and with purpose? I'm going to share with you as we go on 7 ways to fall in love with discipline. Ooh, yep. I went there. I said love and discipline in the same sentence. I'm talking about how to use it for you and not against you. And let's kick things off with a little wisdom from author and motivational speaker Jim Rohn. He was pretty big in the 1980s and 90s, and his words still ring true today. Here's one of my favorite quotes of his. "We must all suffer from one of 2 pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons." Ooh, that's so good. When you look at it this way, discipline isn't a burden. It's actually the lighter option. It's choosing a small weight now so you don't have to carry a much heavier one later. Think about that time when you pushed through a workout and felt amazing afterward versus the time you skipped something important and then it stayed in your head the rest of the day. You couldn't quit thinking about it and that you should have done it. The scale of those feelings is dramatically different. So with that in mind, let's jump into 7 insights that can help make discipline work for you and not against you. Starting with one of my favorites. You get to choose your hard. We all know life isn't easy. Discipline is hard, but so is staying stuck. And so is spinning in self-doubt. And so is living with the ache of not going after your dream and not using your gifts. Both paths have their challenges, but only one leads to joy. The heart of discipline leads to momentum, possibility, and freedom. The heart of avoidance just leads to more hard stuff. Let me break this down with some real-life choose your hard scenarios. Hard, making time to exercise. Also hard, having to suck in to squeeze into your pants. Hard, writing, building, creating, or launching, especially when no one's watching. Also hard, seeing others live your dream and feeling stuck in the what-ifs. Hard, closing the laptop at the end of the day when there's still more to do. Also hard, running on fumes and resenting the work you used to be excited about because you're so tired. Hard, saving a percentage of every paycheck. Also hard, feeling constant financial stress and having no options when opportunities arise. Hard, saying what you need to. Also hard, feeling resentful because you didn't. When I think about it this way, suddenly discipline doesn't seem like the strict choice. It's actually the adventure, because it's choosing the path that leads somewhere exciting, even if there are a few hills to climb along the way. The discomfort of discipline is temporary. The freedom it creates is long-lasting. Number 2, pay the price of admission. There's a price of admission to be who you want to be. Every version of us that we're becoming has a ticket price. Want to feel stronger? You got to move your body. Want to write that book? You need to sit and write even when Netflix is calling your name. Want a more homey home? That means setting aside time to clean or organize. Now, just for fun, visualize a vending machine. Inside the vending machine are your goals, whatever you're working toward. You can't just stand there looking through the glass and hope something good falls out. You got to put something in, some focus, some effort, some consistency. Those are the coins you drop in to get what you really want. That's discipline in action, tiny intentional choices that move you forward. It doesn't need to be big or bold. It's just something you're willing to keep doing. And you get to choose what you're buying with your energy every day. Because every goal you care about comes with an energy cost. But if you frame it as sacrifice, it can feel draining. So instead, I like to think of it as an exchange. You put in some intention, you get back momentum. You invest in consistency, you get confidence. You choose what to pay with your time and focus, and you get to decide what's worth it. Number 3. Discipline has a great ROI. Let's talk returns on investment. On a recent call with our SimplyAlign practitioners, one of them shared that as a musician, she's practiced consistently for 20 years. She's put in so much time and effort, and now opportunities come to her. It has opened so many doors, not because she's lucky, but because she's ready. Discipline is rarely flashy. It's steady, faithful, and patient. But wow, the return on investment is huge. Over time, it multiplies into confidence, capability, and opportunities you would have never had access to otherwise. Think about it. Discipline gives you freedom to choose from more options, not fewer. The person who's practiced their craft has more opportunities than the one who hasn't. The person who's saved money has more choices than the one in debt. The person who's taken care of their health has more freedom in how they live. That's a pretty amazing payoff, right? On to number 4. You'll like yourself better. This one might sound simple, but it's powerful. Discipline helps you like yourself more. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you build trust. You start to believe in your own voice. You begin to walk with a little more bounce in your step. We often think freedom is doing whatever we want when we want, but I think the deepest freedom is knowing you can rely on yourself, that you're someone who follows through, that you're becoming someone who is respected, not just for what you do, but how you show up. All right, number 5, worst first, greater later. Let's be honest, discipline doesn't always feel like a party in the moment. Waking up early, saying no to distractions, working on your project when you're uninspired, these things take effort. But the beauty is in the exchange. The worst part now, the effort, brings the greater part later, the reward. That's the paradox. When we choose to do the hard thing first, we actually buy ourselves more time, more energy, more joy. That's true in small things like tackling the most annoying task first thing in the morning, and it's true in big life goals. Temporary discomfort now leads to long-term freedom. Number 6, it's really just devotion in motion. Here's a reframe that makes me smile. I hope it does you too. Discipline doesn't have to be cold or rigid. Sometimes it's simply devotion in motion. It's the act of staying connected to what matters to you, like a love letter to your future self. When you give yourself 10 minutes to stretch in the morning or start your bedtime routine a little earlier instead of getting lost in the scroll, that's discipline. But it's also love, it's respect, it's presence, not punishment, devotion. And when we anchor our routines in meaning and joy, they become so much lighter to carry. It's like turning your have-tos into get-tos. And the 7th insight, reframe discipline to honoring. One of my favorite ways to make discipline feel lighter is to reframe it. So instead of thinking of it as rules or restrictions, I like to think of it as honoring. When I choose to stick with my morning practice, I'm not just being disciplined. I'm honoring the life I want. I'm honoring my future self. I'm honoring the commitments I've made, and I'm honoring the gifts that I've been given to develop. Discipline is a way to honor what matters. It's how we shape our days around what we believe in. It's how we say, I trust that my future is worth investing in. Doesn't honoring your dreams sound so much better than pushing yourself to be disciplined? It does to me. And while we're here, let's bust 3 common myths about discipline that might be holding you back. Myth number 1, discipline means no fun or spontaneity. But the reality is, actually, discipline creates more space for fun, because when you've handled your essentials efficiently, you have more free time and less guilt during your playtime. I've had several clients over the years who needed to learn that it's okay to play without feeling like they're being lazy or wasting time. One client is a wonderful pianist who always felt guilty when she played piano just for fun, not practicing for church or practicing to accompany someone. She felt guilty just playing for her own enjoyment. And that came up in a session, and when we got to the root of the matter, she told me her mom was a very disciplined person who made her practice constantly and would get upset if she paused to play around with music that was light and fun, not just what was assigned her in her music theory books. And during our session, we discovered how that pressure had spilled into other areas of her life, making everything feel a bit too rigid, like there wasn't room to explore or enjoy, or that it wasn't okay to just have fun. Letting go of that old belief was so liberating for her. Now she plays what she calls her just for fun songs on the piano all the time, and that small shift has created more ease and creativity and joy through all the areas of her life. She's disciplined to learn the songs she needs to be prepared for, and that frees her up to have some fun too. And I know I keep saying it, but true discipline actually makes room for more joy, not less. Myth number 2, you're either naturally disciplined or you're not. Reality. Discipline is a skill anyone can develop, not a personality trait you're born with. Just like any muscle, it gets stronger with practice, and everyone starts somewhere. I mean, I do believe there are some personality types that structure and discipline and consistency are much easier for. My husband's personality type, for one. He's very good at disciplining himself and having structure. So I try to be like that too. I'm not quite like he is, but I have learned it over years. So just because it may not be your natural way of being, everybody can learn how to give themselves the gift of focusing to get the things done that matter the most to them. Myth number 3, discipline requires massive willpower. Reality, systems beat willpower every time. The most disciplined people aren't relying on heroic effort. They're creating environments and routines that make discipline the path of least resistance. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, I quote him a lot because I love that book. He said, "You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems." So getting systems in place can help tremendously with keeping your discipline where you want it to be. But how do we actually do this? So here's the key. You're not just doing this for yourself right now. You're doing it for 2 versions of you. Today's you, who wants to feel good about what you're accomplishing, and tomorrow's you, who will inherit the gifts of your consistency. The secret lies in this partnership between the 2. You're actually collaborating with your future self. Cool, right? Every time you choose discipline, present you gets the satisfaction of following through and feeling capable, while future you receives the compound interest of your efforts. And here's 5 playful ways to start falling in love with discipline that actually feel good. Number 1, eat that frog. Brian Tracy's famous advice is to tackle your biggest, most important task first thing in the morning. When you eat the frog early, everything else feels easier. As Tracy says, if you have to eat 2 frogs, eat the ugliest one first. Meaning, do the hardest, most important thing before anything else. This simple switch can transform your entire day from heavy to light. Number 2, make it obvious. Put your workout clothes where you'll see them first thing in the morning. When you make your bed, put your gratitude journal on your pillow in the morning so it's there ready for you in the evening. You won't forget to write down the 3 or 5 things you're grateful for. Make the disciplined choice the easiest one to see. When you reduce friction between you and your habits, discipline becomes so much easier, almost automatic. Number 3, celebrate yourself. I love this one. Did you drink your water today? Amazing. Did you take a walk or jump on your mini trampoline? You're crushing it. Celebration is great and builds momentum. Most of us are quick to notice what we didn't do, but acknowledging your wins, even tiny ones, rewires your brain to associate discipline with positive feelings. 4, find an accountability buddy or 2. Everything's more fun with friends, if they're the right friends. Find people who are practicing similar disciplines and cheer each other on. Share your progress, your stumbles, and your victories. We're wired for connection, and knowing someone else is expecting you to show up can make all the difference on days when your motivation is hiding. 5, connect it to joy. How can you make working on your goals something you look forward to? Maybe you only listen to your favorite podcast while walking, or light a beautiful candle when you sit down to work. Create little rituals that signal this is special time. Pair your discipline with something delightful. Use your favorite mug for morning journaling, or put on music that energizes you for your cleaning routine. It's easier to be enthusiastic about something when discipline starts feeling like a gift you're giving yourself rather than a chore. Alrighty, as we wrap up, let's circle back to where we started with Jim Rohn's wisdom. Discipline weighs ounces while regret weighs tons. Now that we've explored this idea more deeply, I hope you can see how discipline is actually the path of lightness and freedom, not heaviness. And just to recap those 7 insights: choose your hard, pay the price of admission, discipline has great return on investment, discipline helps you like yourself better, remember worst first, greater later, and discipline is really just devotion in motion, and reframe discipline to honoring. You're honoring what it is you want to get done. As always, thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. If this episode brought you a little sunshine or a little encouragement, I'd love if you share it with a friend or leave a review. Until next time, keep shining, and remember, the discipline you choose today is creating the freedom you'll feel tomorrow.